In order to get started, we're going to need to create a new project. Once you have Unity open, select the New Project button. From here, we're going to give the project a name and call it Jetroid. You can save the project wherever you want on your computer where you normally do your development. Next, let's turn off Unity Analytics since we won't be using it for this course, and make sure to switch the game to 2D mode. Once you've done this, simply press the Create Project button. Here you can see Unity has loaded up in its default view. We're going to customize this to make it a little bit easier to work with as we build out our game. We'll start by right-clicking on the Assets Store tab and closing the tab, since we won't be using it. Next, let's drag the Game tab below the Scene tab. Then, drag the Project tab below the Inspector, the Console next to that, and bring the hierarchy to the left of the Inspector. The final thing we'll do is go into our Game tab, select the aspect ratio, and switch it to 16:9. As you can see, now we have our windows set up so that it's easier for us to develop our game. We can work in our scene at the top, laying things out and moving things around. We can preview what's going on in the game view. And we also have our hierarchy panel to the right, so we can see what's in our scene, the inspector next to that, and below our console for debugging, and our project tab for managing the files inside of our game. While we're in the project tab, let's go ahead and create a new folder. You can do this by right-clicking and selecting Create Folder from the top. We're going to call this Jetroid. As we continue to build our game, we're going to keep all the code for our game inside of this folder so that it's separated from other external libraries we import into our project. Now let's go to the exercise files that you downloaded, and inside of the _resources folder, you'll see a folder of artwork. Let's drag this into our Jetroid folder. Once it's done, Unity will import it. If we go and select on the Jetroid folder, expand it, and go into artwork, you'll see we now have 3 new folders for the artwork, for our splash screen, our sprite sheets, and our sprites. We can make this view a list by dragging the slider at the bottom. This will be useful when you have a lot of files inside of a folder and you want to see more of what's going on. The next thing we're going to do is import some code that'll help us out later on when we need to build a level. Let's go to the Assets menu, to Import Package, select Custom Package, and from the _resources folder, let's go ahead and import the Tilemap Editor v2 Unity package, and click Open. Whenever you import Unity packages into your project, you'll see a wizard that gives you the option of choosing which files get imported into the project. Let's leave this at the default setting with all the files selected, and click Import. Going back up to the root of our Assets folder, you now see that we have our game code separated in our Jetroid folder, and we have the Tilemap Editor set up in its own folder. The last thing we want to do is go ahead and save our scene. Let's go to File and select Save Scene. From here, we're going to go into our Assets folder, select Jetroid, create a new folder called Scenes, and we're going to call this Game Staging. Once you save this, now that we've saved our scene, we're ready to begin building our game. If you'd like to learn more about the Tilemap Editor we'll be using in this course, feel free to check out my Unity 5 2D Building a Tilemap Editor course. While it's not critical that you watch this course to use the Tilemap Editor, if you're interested in how to build your own tools for Unity, this course will show you the foundation that was used to build the Tilemap Editor. Also, if you're setting up a new project like we are today, you may want to check out my Unity Cloud Build with Git course. While we won't be using Unity Cloud Build or Git for this project, whenever you create a new game, it's usually helpful to use some sort of version control as well as a continuous integration server, which will automatically do builds for you and make it easier for you to test out your game on different platforms, as well as share it with others who you may want to try out the game.